Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is chapter 43 of Future, and this one is titled Bad Gems. Why do you have to be like this, Chi? You're so mean to everyone else but me, and you get angry about silly things, she pouted. I thought we were in love, but I can't love you if you're going to be mean to people all the time and get angry about silly things. Chi was shocked. Was she saying she didn't love him anymore? He had to do something about this. I don't want you to have that stone because Soshi's mean and he cut me with it, he said, changing his story slightly. How did he cut you? Ginny asked dubiously. He said he was going to punch me and then he threw that at me and it cut my arm, Chi said dramatically, pointing to the stone. Ginny was perplexed. That didn't sound like Soshi at all, but she didn't think that Chi would lie to her. I'm going to ask Soshi, she said as she walked over to where Soshi was. Soshi, she asked as she approached the boy, did you say you would punch Chi? And then did you throw this at him? She asked, pointing to the gem in her hand. Soshi looked at the ground and nodded sadly. But... Soshi, she interrupted him. That's mean. Why would you say you would punch Chi? No, Soshi, I'm very sad at you. I didn't think that you were like that, she said as she handed the red gem back to him. I don't want your stone if you're going to hurt someone. No, Ginny, wait, I can tell you everything, he said in a panic. But Ginny had turned and walked off back to a very smug-looking Chi. See, told you he was mean, Chi said with a self-satisfied smirk on his face. Ginny was torn. Why would Soshi have threatened to punch Chi? It didn't make sense. Can I hold your hand again now? He asked softly. Yes, you can, Ginny replied, reaching out and taking his hand in hers. Just then, all three parents' cars turned up in convoy. Jem jumped out of the car and ran over to Soshi, who was sobbing into the crook of his arm. Soshi, sweetheart, are you okay? She asked gently. No, me, he sobbed. It's okay, sweetheart, it's okay. We'll chat in the car, okay? She said, lifting her little boy up and cuddling him as she carried him to the car. Kiri and Mrs. Bakugou walked over to Ginny and Chisuki as they quickly let go of hands and looked bashfully at the ground. Kiri smirked. You ready to go, Ginny? She nodded shyly and said a quick goodbye to Chi before following her dad to the car. Why is Soshi crying, Hockey? Mrs. Bakugou asked. She had this feeling that he knew why and that he was the cause. Ginny gave him his red stone back, he said proudly. Mrs. Bakugou cocked her head. Red stone? Yes, he made it with his hands, Chizuki said nonchalantly. Oh, did his quirk manifest? She asked excitedly. Chizuki shrugged. Maybe, he said dismissively. Mine's way cooler, he added smugly. Wait, yours manifested too? She asked with surprise. What does your quirk do? I can burst into flames, he announced proudly. Mrs. Bakugou rolled her eyes and laughed. That sounds about right. Okay, come on, we need to celebrate and tell Daddy. She lit up with a big smile. Does that mean I'm a big boy now? Sure does, Mrs. Bakugou said with a smile. Soshi sobbed the whole way home, heartbroken that Ginny had returned his gift and called him mean when she didn't know the whole story. Soshi, baby, tell me what's wrong. Did Chisuki hurt you? Jem coaxed gently from the front seat as she drove him home. No, Mummy, he wailed. Ginny said I was mean and she gave me my red stone back. What red stone, sweetheart? She asked softly. The one I made from my hands, he sobbed. Jem nearly swerved off the road. Your hands? Honey, did your quirk manifest today? Soshi nodded. Jem pulled into the driveway of their house and hopped out of the car, walking back to where Soshi was in the back seat and opening the door. Do you have the red stone with you, sweets? Soshi nodded again and opened his hand slowly, revealing a rough-cut red stone. Jem tried not to get too overly excited, but she also didn't want Soshi to feel like it was an unimportant event, so she smiled and told him it was beautiful. We need to celebrate and have your favourite food tonight, then tell Daddy about it. This is a special day, she said with a warm smile. No, it's not special, Mummy, because Ginny's mad at me, he sniffed. These red stones are bad and stupid. Trying not to freak out, Jem gently lifted him out of the car seat and set him down on the ground. She didn't want him to hate his quirk because of a misconstrued perception. Okay, let's go inside and you can tell me the whole story of what happened, and then we can call Ginny's mummy and talk to Ginny and sort it all out, she said softly, crouching down and wiping away his tears before giving him a kiss on his chubby cheek. Ginny's a very kind little girl. I'm sure she'll forgive you. Soshi nodded sadly and held his mummy's hand as she led him inside. So, what happened today? Kiri asked Ginny as they drove home. Well, Daddy, she started in her best gossipy tone. It was just crazy, she said with a flamboyant arm movement. Soshi's quirk manifested today. Manifested? Kiri asked. Wait, what did you say? Quirk? His quirk manifested? Yes, Daddy, that's what I said, she said with an excited giggle and an eye roll. Oh, cool. What can he do? Kiri asked curiously. Well, he makes ice and pretty stones from his hands, but he threw them and it cut Chi's arm, so it's a bad and mean quirk and I don't like it, Ginny pouted. Wait, that doesn't sound like Soshi at all, sweetheart. Did you see him do it? No, Daddy, Chi told me, she said. Kiri frowned. He hummed. I think you might need to check that story, darling. Chi might not be saying everything that happened. Ain't that the truth? Stay tuned for chapter 44 tomorrow. We'll see you then.